Hey guys, it's Alyssa and we are in day 7 of Vlogmas. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a favorite item that sold from my shop for every month of the year so far. So you are going to get a sneak preview of some stuff that sold in December, even though I haven't done my what sold in December video yet because that will be coming next month. But I am just so excited to share with you some of these awesome pieces that sold this year. Honestly, you guys slayed with your picks. Also, before we get to that, let's cut to our special announcement that I teased from yesterday's Vlogmas video. Yes, guys, I have a cat. Meet Noelle. She is like the cutest little baby ever and obviously does not want to be held right now. But I love her so much. She is so cute. She's about 3 months old and I got her from a local shelter. She had been rescued by an elderly lady who had several cats, and she actually fostered her and her 5 siblings for about 2 months, and then she surrendered them to the shelter because it was just too much for her to take care of them, because again, she was like 82 years old. So props to her for taking them in and being able to take care of them for 2 months. That's really, really awesome. As you can see, she loves cats. But yeah, I'm super excited. I love Noelle so far. I've only had her for literally less than 24 hours, but so far things are going great. She's really warming up to me, which is so fun. So yeah, that was my little special announcement that I teased from yesterday's Vlogmas video. So welcome, Noelle. Alright guys, now without further ado, let's get to what sold this year. Well, not just what sold, but some of my favorite pieces that sold on my shop. And honestly, some of these months, it's hard to choose because like I said, some of these picks you guys slayed with. These products I love so much. Honestly, every piece that I put on my Etsy shop I love, but there are some that I am just so attached to. The pictures just turn out great with them, or they're just so beautiful and so right for that time of the year. It doesn't matter. There's just some that are just, special. So I'm going to be giving you one from each month from 2024 that I absolutely love that sold in my shop this year. To start us off with January, we have Wendy, who bought on the 31st of January, but it still counts, even if it's the last day. She bought this really, really cute vintage pedestal bud vase, and this is again one that I said where like the pictures for this just turned out so right. The sun was like perfect when I was taking these pictures, and it just made it all come together in a way that I was like, oh yes, this is exactly what I want when I take my product photos. So I loved this piece, especially the way it photographed. And I will say most of these that I'm going to give a shout out to today, I was definitely tempted to keep for myself, and this was certainly one of them. But yes, Wendy bought that, so that headed out to California in January. So thank you so much, Wendy, for that order. All right, next up was a really cute blue floral jewelry trinket box, and this was bought by Janice, and Janice left like the sweetest review for this, so thank you so much, Janice. But she also told me in her review that she uses this box right by her sink and she puts her rings in it when she does her dishes, which I just think is so cute. When anyone tells me like how they end up using their items that they purchase from me, it warms my heart so much because I love envisioning it being used in someone's home and being not only something that's a statement piece, a beautiful add to someone's home, but also something that's useful for them. That just warms my heart so much. So it was a beautiful piece, photographed great, and I was so happy to see that Janice was able to put it to good use. All right, next up was March, and I have to say for March it was really hard to pick. There was a lot of really cool pieces that sold in the month of March. It was one of my best months that I had in 2024, and if you missed any of my what sold videos, you can go back through and look and see everything that sold in the certain month that I'm talking about. But yeah, March was a really good one, and I have to give it to the duck wicker basket because I feel like I'm just gonna keep saying this, but this one photographed so perfectly. It just popped. It was so great with the setup, the light, everything, and I was honestly shocked, but this stayed on my store for a very, very long time. It was one of my first pieces that I put on when I opened my shop in March of 2023. So I was kind of surprised that it took, a year to sell, but it did. And the person that bought it, Sarah, she left a 5-star review for it. So thank you so much, Sarah, for that. And thank you for buying that. And I know I said yesterday how I thought that Washington was like a new state when I got a sale from Washington in November, but Sarah was actually the first person to buy from the state of Washington. So I was like, oh, that's what it was. That's the order that came in from Washington before, because I keep a track of all the states that I sell to, because I want to try and reach all 50 of them eventually. And I'm getting close. I'm like in the 30s, I think. So I'm happy to be inching my way closer to that goal. I need to make a list of the ones I'm still missing so I can keep track of that better. I have a list of the ones that I've sold to, but I think it'd be better if I listed the ones that I haven't sold to yet. That might be easier for me to catch, okay, I don't have this one yet. But Washington I already had, and that was from Sarah. So thank you so much, Sarah, for buying that adorable duck wicker basket. All right, for the month of April, my pick has to be this really cute amber glass bird vase. It was really unique. Not only is it something where I'm just gonna love it because it's amber glass, but also I'd really never seen anything like it before. So that sold to Andrea from New Jersey, and I just think it was one of the more unique pieces that I had on my Etsy store, and definitely one of the more unique ones that I've sold all year. So thanks so much, Andrea, for purchasing that for the month of April. May was another really hard one. If you go back and watch my May What Sold video, you'll know that it's also one of my best months from the year. And seriously, guys, there's so much good stuff that sold in May that it's so hard for me to pick. But I think I have to go with this blue tiara glass, colonial hexagon trinket tray. I know that's a lot of words, but I'll obviously pop up a picture so that you can see what I'm talking about. But it is, again, one thing that photographed super well, and also something where it was just so beautiful. I hadn't really seen anything like that before. Definitely didn't have anything like that on my store. And it was also something that had been on my site for a while, on my Etsy shop for a while. So I was happy to see that one go. That sold to Carson. And I was so happy that that went off to its new home because it's such a beautiful piece. All right, guys, for June, the thing that sold that I thought was so, so cool was this Cape Cod, Massachusetts dinner plate. There we go. Massachusetts dinner plate. And it's like a souvenir plate that you would put up on a wall. And I think decorating with plates is coming back in, at least it is for me. I think it's such a fun idea to create maybe a gallery wall with some really interesting and unique plates, or maybe even mix and match with plates and baskets and pictures. I think that's probably what I'll likely do someday in my own home. I just think it's a unique way to decorate for sure. So I was really happy to see this be sold, and it was really beautiful, photographed really well with the green. I think it looked so beautiful. And that went to Trisha in California. Next up for July, I think I'm going to give it to this striped planter that I had. It was a stone planter. It was something that came out for my July drop, which was all blue themed. And I'm really thinking about doing another themed color drop, or potentially several themed color drops in 2025. Make sure and stay tuned to Vlogmas, because I have a video planned where we are going to plan and map out every single drop for 2025. I already know what I'm doing for the first two in January and February, but I don't really have an idea of what the rest of the year is going to look like. So I'm going to have a lot of fun vision boarding with you and planning with you what that's going to look like. But thanks so much to Terry for buying that planter. That went to Florida. August was another month that was really hard to pick one. I had two that were kind of my final choices, but I think the one that ended up winning out was one that left a 5-star review, and that was Angela, who bought my vintage strawberry canister jar. It was like a canister jar, glass jar type thing. I'll put a picture up obviously, but this was such a cool piece, and I was so excited when I found it at a Goodwill. I was like, oh my gosh, something with strawberries, please give this to me. And it was in great condition, like pristine condition, nothing wrong with it at all. Like it needed a little clean, needed to be cleaned up, but other than that, it was fine. So thank you so much, Angela, for buying that and leaving a 5-star review, and that went to Virginia. For the month of September, it was also a little bit hard to pick because there were several really cute crystal pieces that sold, but I have to go with this vintage pressed glass trinket tray. I love trinket trays and jewelry dishes and ring dishes and all of those things. They're just a little guilty pleasure for me. But this one was one that I had on my store for a while, and I just think it was so gorgeous. You see stuff like this all the time at the thrift store, but the way that this one photographed, it just elevated it. It just made it so much more than what you see on an everyday basis. Because sometimes when you're walking through the thrift store and you see all the glass lined up, you can really miss the beauty of the individual pieces just because it kind of blends in all together, especially against like a white or beige background with the shelves. So when I got it against that like red book, I was like, oh my goodness, this is beautiful. So I was so happy to see that that sold, and that went to Emory in Washington. So another order from Washington. All right, guys, for October, it's another crystal piece, and this was a wedding basket vase. This was beautiful. Like, can I say? A gorgeous piece. Also, it was massive, so it was a little tedious to ship, but I'm glad that it arrived safely, and that went to Aurora in Florida. So thank you so much, Aurora, for buying that. Next up is the month of November, and I have to give a shout out once again to order number 100 on my Etsy shop. That was from Johnny, who bought this really cute floral sugar dish bowl, and that went to New York. So thanks again, Johnny, for being order number 100 on my Etsy shop. All right, and then for the last thing that has sold in my Etsy shop for December that I absolutely love, and there might be something that comes along that takes its place, obviously, because December is still going on. But for right now, this stands as my favorite piece that has sold in December, and that was this vintage Takahashi speckled soup bowl. It had these adorable little blue flowers on it. It came with my blue theme drop in July, so it's been on the store for a few months, and I was really happy to see that it sold. So this went to Lauren in Columbus, Ohio, so really near where I was. So like as soon as I shipped it out, it was like delivered the next day. So thank you so much, Lauren, for buying that. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video of seeing some of my favorite finds and also my favorite sales from 2024. Make sure and check out my Etsy shop in the description down below. I've got some really cute stuff, so maybe you could dismantle Lauren's role here as the top best sale in December. Who knows? There might be something better. All right, guys, but thanks so much, and thank you for joining me for Vlogmas. I will see you tomorrow. It's going to be a really fun video as I'm going thrifting with my sister in day 8 of Vlogmas. Thank you, guys. Bye.